So here's the Saturn that's giving me some strife. This particular one turns on okay. Date time battery is somewhat missing. Drive empty, no worries. We'll just put something in the drive. Drive door open. Using a Shonen knife disc. Checking disc format. It's making a lot of noise. Okay, play. Hate that noise. As you can see, it just does not recognize the disc. Most likely cause? No, drive empty. Laser's not even seeing it. No. With these Saturns, there is a little adjustment trim pot at the back of the drive. Hey, presto! No, I haven't taken this apart yet. Let's see if we can zoom in on it. That little orange thing. This one's already been adjusted and I've tried and tested it, but I had no luck. So, there it is. That's been turned quite away. Probably fried the laser. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace that little laser assembly there, which is this whole bit here. That sits on the rail. So I'll swap that out with another one, which I'll show you where it's coming from. It's actually coming from a Japanese Saturn. This is a PAL Saturn. 1 second and I'll show you. And this is the donor Saturn. This is the one, I don't know if you remember, but it has problems with its motors. It causes everything to go crazy. Look at my previous videos, you'll be able to see it for certain. But I'm going to borrow, or rather take the laser, as I can use that in another Saturn that I believe is having laser problems. The one you just saw. The other Saturn. Yeah, stay tuned. And here we are, side by side. As you can see, that's the Saturn I'm trying to repair, and this is the Saturn that's broken. So this one has a 110 power supply, dead. The deck is dead. I did try replacing that chip in there, didn't do anything. Something else is broken on it. It's not worth me investigating any further. I already spent $5 on that chip that didn't fix anything. Over here we have the PAL 240 volt. This power supply is actually taken from another one and looks like it's been repaired previously because of all the markings on top of the capacitors. Yay. Still, it works better than the power supply that was in there, which is just completely dead. You'll notice we've got different drive assemblies. The decks are actually different. This has the 64 pin chip on it. This one I think is an ENR 011. It's in there somewhere. ENR 011A. I didn't know that was in there. I'd been going off this EXL number. But no, it's ENR 011. A, which is very similar to ENR 007. So they're a bit different. The laser assemblies themselves. Let's see if we can get a bit of... There's one. Take a photo of that, keep it in your head. There's the other. They're the same. Which is good. So, I assume this laser's working. I haven't actually tested it outside of the deck. Although I did test with another laser in there and it was doing the same thing. So hopefully that laser's okay. Hopefully this laser is bad and it's not something on this deck, because if this deck is broken, it's not going to be good news. Yeah. Alright, now I'm going to go get the tripod and hook it in so I can do this. Alright, let's start with the broken one. Sorry the camera's so far away, it nearly fell over when I had it tipped anymore. So what you need is a flat blade to start. What we're going to do is, this runs back and forth on here along this metal bar. We need to remove that metal bar. If we don't remove the metal bar, we're not getting anywhere. So the trick is to push. On this side you've got a little thing that blocks the metal bar. On this end you just need to give it a little push. That will send it in the right direction, hopefully. I need to clean this desk. I've got junk everywhere. I can't even move. There you go. And then it'll slowly come out. Whoops. Once it's removed, you'll have one metal bar. Don't lose the metal bar. Boy, I've learned that lesson the hard way. Just kidding. Now the laser will be quite loose, but it's sort of got a guide on the other side as well. But there you go, it just comes out, so. And it's connected in the back, little locking thing. Just unclip it, and then it's free. Now, while your old laser might be useless, it's got some pretty cool things on it that you might need in the future, such as this black metal bit. I picked up some Saturn lasers on eBay, and while they work, they don't come with this metal plastic, which is a bit annoying. So it's fiddly to remove. So there you go, that's the Saturn laser. It's one out. Now I'll just switch it around. Obviously you'll want to be in a relatively static-free area. These lasers don't like electrostatic discharge. I'm wearing probably polyester and cotton. Probably not the best things for never mind. So here's the donor one. I want to be a little more careful with this because it does presumably work. But the same thing as before. Get the metal bar out. Laser unit is free. Be very careful of the trim pot at the back. You don't want to bump it, so it will feed the laser too much power or something. Damn mechanism. So this is the good one. So I'm going to not lose this. In fact, I'm just going to put it in there right now. There we go. Now the old one, I don't know what to do. I'll just leave it on there for now. Technically, no, that board's broken. Yeah, maybe it's just best to keep that separate and have a scrap unit, perhaps. Oh, that's not very focused. Now we'll switch back to the PAL unit. We're trying to repair. Oh, it's already in focus. Look at that. and you just simply reverse the steps that you did. If you purchased a laser off eBay, there'll be a little tiny solder point that is joined to prevent anti-static discharge. I'll see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So as you're looking at the laser like that, turn it around. This bottom corner here, there's two little pads. There'll be some solder on there and you'll just need to heat up a soldering iron and just wipe it away. Just wipe it away. And that will allow it to function. If you install it with that done, connected, it won't do much. Won't do much at all. So back to the Saturn. Even this trim pot looks like it's been turned a little. Always use, never use a metal screwdriver for turning the trim pot. I've just turned it back. The less power you have going through it, the better apparently. I don't understand how it all works. I just replace parts. Make sure you connect the cable in the right way. Be sure to not touch the top of the laser like I just did. A lot of the ones you do get on eBay will already have the correct power calibration, so you won't need to change the trim pot at all. But if you're doing something crazy like this, you might need to do it. Just make sure the guide lines up. Now, you might wonder what all this, you might be getting some grease on your hands from touching these bars and things. I've found that it seems to be some sort of ceramic grease, which is good for lubrication and movement of the whatever you call it. So I used some of this, which just picked up for, I have no idea how much it was. It was a while ago. It's a little tube, but it doesn't run out. I don't know where the actual tube's gone either, so that's another mystery. But yeah, you can apply some of that just to make it run a bit smoother. Apparently it works wonders in Dreamcasts, which have quite noisy everythings. It's thinking. So then you just simply line that up. You can put the thermal grease down there around these gears on this pole. You simply refeed it through. Metal bar. You get the flat blade screwdriver. Just push it as far as it'll go, and then the little white plastic thing on this side will lock in. Really? Focus? Stupid ceramic grease. Anyway, the bar is now in. Just make sure this little locking piece here locks back across and the bar isn't in it. You can just move it back and forth to make sure it moves. Shouldn't do that, it'll probably damage it. But it moves back and forth. Now, that's done. So let's head back to the test room. That's another thing. If you are unlucky enough to be doing this on a Model 1, this reset button, if it's not the very first revision, the VA0s, and it's got that awful pogo stick looking thing there, chances are it's going to be stuck down and your screen will stay blank when you try and turn it on. Make sure that is not down. Also, make sure your disc isn't still in the thing when you take the cover off. Such is life. Out it goes. I don't understand. They got the reset button right in the very first model and then screwed it up for everyone for the next few revisions. So there we go, back in one piece. We'll be right back with tests. Bit of power. Hello, detected a disc. That's good news. That's pretty good. Make sure you give it a test seeking. Skipping. It's a good result. Finally, one of my tutorials actually went right. Now you'll note that I didn't really give a. Make sure you test with music CDs, Saturn games, because they're commercially pressed. If you're using your Saturn to play backups, using a mod chip, CDRs generally require a bit more laser power, so you may need to adjust that orange trim pot in the back of the unit. I can actually just show you that now. Well, it's plugged in and connected to power, of course. Oh, I left the disc in there. Why didn't anyone say anything? And always use a plastic tool. Do not ever even think about using a metal screwdriver, because it is not recommended for some reason. So if you have a look in there, it's pretty much where it would have been on factory settings. I know, because I've seen a fair few of these things through here. But let's just give it a little nudge. And you only need to give it a very little nudge. That was tiny. It doesn't spin very fast, so you don't want to spin it too much. If you go anti-clockwise, it makes the laser weaker. If you spin it clockwise, it makes it stronger. But being stronger, more power's running through, it'll wear out quicker. It's a trade-off. There's no winning. And that's how you do it. So thanks for watching. I hope you learnt something today. As have I. Got a good laser tray deck out of that. So it's all good, as long as we all had fun. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out retrojunkie.net for more. There's not much success over there at the moment, but this one gives me a win, so it's looking like a bright future.